Welcome back to Richmond, Virginia for the final 9 holes of this year's 2024 Tour de Richmond, presented by Play It Again Sports. This is combined coverage on Gatekeeper and Heiser Media's YouTube channel if you haven't watched the first 3 rounds. What are you doing here? We got 9 more holes to determine a champion. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Dan Brooks-Wells. How's it going, Dan?
Fantastic. We see some awesome golf, and we get a bonus 9 holes, and we get to see it on a safari round. So Jay only has the lead by 2 strokes over Guthrie, and he's being trailed by 2 former champions, Benjamin and Cody.
Yeah, should be an exciting finish. Get to watch some new holes that you may not normally see out here at Bryan Park.
Yeah, this is going to feature a lot of combining a few holes and a lot more par 4. So starting it off, hole 1, look to your right off the tee, and we are playing to basket 3. This is a par 4, 720 feet down the hill and back up and over the hill again, coming into a fast green.
Yep, super low ceiling shot here off the tee. Players looking to bite off as much as I can down this hill. We've seen some super clean golf from Jay pretty much the entire tournament. If he's able to just play nice and solid, keep his scorecard clean, he's going to have a good chance to win this thing.
Yeah, and all these guys are going to be going high-speed driver off the tee. It seems like there might be a little bit of a low ceiling once you get out there, but there's a lot of room to work with. Guthrie's looking for it to miss that tree, and it seems like he sneaks past it.
Yeah, not a bad result there. Got Benjamin Lengel. Nice, solid 3rd round to jump himself up to the lead card. Saw the same thing out of Cody Bradshaw. Both of these guys, like you said, former champions at this tournament. They know they can get it done. And they've put themselves in position to give themselves a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for Ben or for Cody to chase down Jay, they're going to have to play somewhat flawless here. As we see Ben going over the top with a roller, this is a creative play.
Yeah, super aggressive line. After not biting off as much as he would have liked off the tee, trying to maybe give himself an outside look.
This one needs to crest the hill. Just gets over and skips away from that group of trees. Probably have an easy look into the basket from there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, probably just a nice layup there.
And you know Cody's going for the pin. It seemed to come out a little low. Yeah, that was a misfire.
Yeah, just never had the height to crest the hill, unfortunately. Got a little bit of rain coming down, too, as well. Something to keep in mind. A little bit of extra ground play there. It's going to leave Cody with some meat on the bone.
Yeah, we'll see if these guys are prepared for this rain or if this was kind of a little bit of a surprise for them as well.
Yeah, I don't see any umbrellas out so far. Actually, I do see one umbrella in the background, but the rest of our card looks like they might be getting a little wet.
Yeah, I think so. And Jay here, he just wants to put one close. No need to run this. Nobody else is really in position for the bird. So, no strokes gained. No strokes lost.
Yeah, got a not long, but tester we'll call it for Cody here for the par. About 25 feet or so.
We're taking his time on this one. We definitely don't want to fall another stroke behind. Good concentration. Keeps himself in contention.
Yeah, it worries me sometimes on those rainy putts to just kind of stand over it for too long. You can tend to get a little drop of rain on your thumb or on the top of the disc can mess with the focus, but
yeah, absolutely. You could be like going through your routine and you just catch that little one underneath the thumb, right?
Exactly.
Just so annoying. And we got Jay. We pro move, wait for the car to go by. Don't let anything distract you.
Yep, dials it in, knocks down that par putt.
Very
So
cool.
just a nice solid par frame for the leaders here on the first hole. Well, I don't want to jinx it, but should be a nice solid par frame.
I believe we had our top 8 made the final 9, and the only person to birdie this hole is Matthew Graves. All right, hole 2, we are playing regular hole 4. This is a par 4, 615 feet. Throwing it straight, kind of got a little low ceiling here, and sloping green right to left somewhat, and somewhat of a quick green as well. So another thing these guys might be paying attention to is, who knows if these tee pads get a little bit slippery. You just got to be careful.
Yeah, these kind of pavers can get a little slick depending on how they are laid out, so definitely worth keeping in mind. As we saw in round 3, this hole, anything down here in the gully kind of underneath that low ceiling will put you in position for a pretty straightforward up and down. So no need to do anything too aggressive here. Just keep yourself in the fairway and give yourself a birdie look.
Yeah, and Ben checks up and gets a nice little roll back out into the fairway. I think that's one of the only mistakes you can really make is kind of, if you're throwing the forehand, skipping it up and into that group of trees right there, but he does well to avoid that. Cody here is going with his cloud breaker, and that looks pretty perfect. It kind of turned up right at the right moment.
Yeah, got back to hyzer, got a little bit of extra skip. That'll help him out nicely. This is a smooth looking upshot from Guthrie. Doesn't quite get the fade he was looking for, but maybe just outside the circle.
And on Jay's approach here, he's going with his method. Puts that one pretty close, and his putter's been solid. See if he can knock that one down to maintain that 2 strokes.
Yeah, that putt will be a good test of, as we see Lengel blowing by the basket a little bit there. It's going to be a tricky putt. But yeah, it'll be a good test to see kind of how Jay is feeling here with just a couple holes down the stretch. Cody giving it a bit of a run on his upshot.
I have to think he was trying to, it wasn't a misfire. He was trying to kind of give that a little bit and get some strokes where he can. Guthrie, unfortunately, low, and it's going to give Jay a chance to get up by 3.
Just a bit off there from Ben. Tricky stance in the bushes. Bradshaw fortunate enough to stay on the edge. Just a couple of leaves in his back leg there, but shouldn't bother him too much. Just a bit off, right?
Yeah, his regular putting, it didn't look like his regular putting stroke. The rain might be affecting him or something else, but
yeah, hard to say.
That being said, but Keagy's got a chance to take a stroke on the card.
Yeah, big putt here, about a 28-footer or so. Knocks it down. That nice soft nose-up spinner has been working for him all weekend. And he's showing no signs of slowing down.
Absolutely. And I've always said this goes without saying, but having a 3-stroke lead is obviously better than 2, really. But there's something about it that gives you a little extra sense of security because there's no losing the 2 strokes on one hole. You know what I mean? There's no birdie to bogey, so definitely does a lot for the confidence moving into the rest of these holes. This is a par 4, hole 3, par 4, 591 feet. We are playing from T5 to basket 8. And these guys are just trying to rip it by the first basket, get a little turn, and pitch one up. Not the longest par 4, but having to deal with some of these trees here.
Yeah, a bit of a tricky gap and uphill off the tee. It's a really great tee shot for Keagy. Gonna put him up there at the top of that hill. Should set him up nicely.
Guthrie going to the right side. That's what's cool about a safari. You kind of get to choose, it's a little bit more open. You kind of get to choose where you want to go here, where you think it's best to approach from.
We're going to make our cameramen work.
Yeah.
To get to all these second shots. We'll see what we're able to track down. Nice smooth forehand there from Lengel. Just pitching something up there. Playing for position. See which way Cody decides to go. Okay, we got 2 going each direction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he gets that one to flex out. He should have a nice look in. Yes, very open. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tough lie here for Guthrie. Just kind of having to pitch a forehand out there. We'll see. Oh yeah, not a bad result at all. I mean, it's gonna be a long putt, but
yeah,
no worse than a par.
He's got it. I don't know if you can lay that up right now if you're starting to run it, trying to make a push.
I think that shot from Ben just skipped about 10 feet in front of him, and it took about a 150-foot skip after it. And my eyes might be deceiving me, but that was could have been a lot worse. Great upshot again. Jake Keagy is just playing some super soft golf right now. Gonna have another tester putt coming up, but I don't like his chances.
Absolutely, not trying to do too much. Cody puts himself in a good position as well. And maybe, it's too early, but I'm thinking he's got to try and give that a little bit more of a run.
Oh, circle 2 floater from Lengel just comes up a bit short. Yeah, right around circle's edge. Tickles the right side chains, but doesn't get it to stick. So a bit of a missed opportunity for Keagy, and Cody Bradshaw knocks down his first birdie of this final 9. Even if him or Ben aren't able to win this thing, second place still very much up for grabs.
Yeah, and maybe that's something Guthrie is thinking about as well. I still think he should be pushing for the win, but those guys are right behind him. Cody takes a stroke on the card, and we will be moving on to hole 4. This is regular hole 11. Last round is played, I believe, the hardest hole on the course. You have an OB creek right there. You can decide to go over or under it. If you go over it, you're rewarded with an easier upshot. The road to the left is going to be out of bounds, and you're approaching into this quick up slanted green. So I'm thinking these guys might try and go across.
Cody definitely going across. Full power hyzer flip for him. This should clear it pretty easily. Land in that. Oh, or do I speak too soon?
Maybe. He might have got a little too high.
Yeah, maybe stalled out a bit.
Keagy is also going for it. He did it in the last round and executed it perfectly. And did so there as well.
We saw him lay up in the first round.
Yeah, it's just his play. I mean, if you don't have a high percentage of making it over, then there's no reason to try and push it. You can still get your 3.
Maybe a little too safe of a layup for Lengel there. Going to leave him a long shot up into this green. Probably pushing that 400-foot range. Puts a pretty decent move on this thing, but still going to be an outside look for his birdie.
Yeah, and 400 plus the uphill, so, probably playing a little bit longer. Guthrie trying to flex something up and in, catches a little bit of tree and drops short. Looks like Cody's at the drop zone.
Yeah, so I think he did find that OB ditch.
Seems to get over on this. He's wanting it to get down. That ended up a pretty good result right there.
Yeah, I'll have a look to save the par, probably just outside the circle. Looking at an uphill putt, and yeah, Keagy, just perfect drive. Oh, catches kind of a weird reaction off the root there.
Yeah, absolutely. Still in a good position, and nobody else is really in position to attack, so it doesn't, seem like right now he's going to lose one on this hole.
Yeah, everybody going to be pretty much just pitching up. Maybe a little half go from circle 2. This one's probably about a 50, 60 footer. Probably just outside the circle.
Yeah. And Jay might be thinking, I can kind of put it away here. I'm going to sit down. Good sit. That can turn into, a lot worse.
Yeah, if that rolls back down the hill. Cody with a chance to save the par, but just fluffs it a bit. Left side. And, yeah, still nobody's gained a stroke yet on our leader. Still a 3-stroke cushion on his next closest competitor.
Absolutely, and we are running out of holes here. As Cody taps in for his bogey.
Yeah, just 5 left.
Moving on to hole 5. This is T12 to basket 13. This is a par 4, 508 feet. It's going to be a dog leg to the right, a little bit of a low ceiling to deal with here, and pitching it into a quicker green with that dirt.
Forehand makes a lot of sense here. Just kind of ride that hillside to the right. Find something nice and soft.
That'll be just fine. And Lengel is going to follow suit with the forehand. He's throwing his nuke there. You can see a little roller action from Cody.
Finally, I've been waiting for somebody to do something fun on one of these safari holes. Uh-oh.
Whoa! At least he caught himself.
Yeah, a little slippage there. Could have been a lot worse. Not a bad result, really.
No.
Farther drive than the other two guys saw. I'm sure he would have liked for that to hold the cut a little bit longer, but...
Yeah, I think the slip kind of made him pull it over a little bit more than he wanted. But... And you see Guthrie just, completely looking down to the right. I like this.
Yeah, just throws that basically sideways from the tee pad. But if that's the basket we're looking at, he's in a great spot.
We got a forehand upshot by Keagy with his eagle.
Yeah, it comes in a bit hot. Get a little more ground play than maybe he was expecting out in circle 2. Let's see if these guys can make the adjustment.
The door is open. He's definitely giving chances. See if these guys can capitalize. That looks like a 25-foot look right there. Perfect by Cody.
Yeah, I mean, Jay's playing this. Yeah, I mean, it really did. But yeah, Jay's playing this basically exactly how you want to, right? Never in danger. Just giving himself some outside looks at birdie, a lot of stress-free pars, and forcing his competitors to come and get him. Oh, and he knocks down the 50-footer.
Oh man,
It's gonna be hard to catch him if he keeps putting like this. Just a little nose up stepper. perfect
I mean,
pace.
no chains required. Yeah.
I don't want to speak too soon, but that's a sign of an early dagger right there with only 4 left.
Yeah. I'd probably have to agree with that.
Going to be 4 strokes, assuming this drops in. 4 strokes with 4 to play.
That's tough to beat. It has been done, but that's tough. Really good putt by Keagy there. As we tap in, this next Safari hole will be something you've seen before. This is going to be regular hole 14. Also one of the toughest holes on the regular course. This is a par 3, 459 feet. This is downhill. The green does slope right to left. So we saw this turnover shot from Keagy the first round. It's really difficult to keep it from hyzering all the way out before hitting the green.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much as good as you can draw it up right there. Just such a buttery hyzer flip executed. Minimal ground play. Sticks it inside the circle.
Yeah, that was a leopard, so you don't need 12 speed to get all the way down there. Use the hill to your advantage, and he definitely did. Cody kind of gets over on that one just a bit and gets probably a good tree kick to the left rather than the right.
I love the forehand play here. This looks like it's on a great angle from Guthrie. If it just gets a little forward skip, yeah, that'll give him a look.
Mm-hmm. You got to think that a lot of these guys are also thinking, hey, we gotta keep track of each other now. Keagy's kind of separated himself, and we're battling for second. This is tough, but 3 really good drives on that.
Yeah, we got a bunch of birdie looks coming up. Cody.
I was trying to make that.
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Oh, and a nice putt from Matthew. Guthrie drops it in from circle's edge. Yeah, we might see more birdies on this hole in this Safari, just on this card, than the whole field had.
Oh, we already
last round.
Nobody birdied it last round, from what I remember. I don't think so.
Yeah, we might have had one, but yeah, I think you might be right. We've already got 2 here. Nice par save there from Cody. After trying to make the upshot, as he claims. And then so rudely blocking the basket for us. 3 birdies. Wow.
Yeah, and again, if we had one last round, that's great. We might not have, but in this back 9, out of the 8 players, 5 of them got the birdie, so really good adjustment. But moving on to hole 7, this is a really cool Safari hole. This is a par 4, 495 feet. You're hitting that gap into a landing zone, and then you're tossing up over the pond. So the pond hole last round was one of the easiest, and now you have to hit a specific tunnel, hit a specific landing zone, and then get it over.
I just checked. There were no birdies on that hole last round. You were correct.
So yeah, that being said, good adjustments by all our players on the final 9.
First real mistake we've seen there from Jay. Doesn't quite get out cleanly on his drive.
Okay. It should be. Okay. Reaching that road is a lot of power. Were you able to ask him if that's on the road?
Seems like this little floaty putter or mid shot, maybe even a fairway up this this left side turning is kind of what everyone's going for here.
Yeah, just a nice smooth hyzer flip. Cody showing us how it's done. Oh, just gets rudely rejected by that wall, but
I'm sure that's what they're all trying to get over. That makes the shot a little bit harder for sure.
Yeah, probably playing closer to 350 foot range here. Going with the forehand for Lengel and clears it with ease.
Thank you.
Kind of a little awkward footing for Guthrie here. Might have to stick with the stance though.
He does. Does this have enough on it? Yes, it does. Oh, just
Wow.
parked.
Cody having to go under these branches and kind of over these bushes. These other trees, I should say. And that'll give him a putt for his 3.
Could be a tricky lie. Not sure what kind of gap Keagy is looking at here on the right-hand side of the fairway. Either way, he hits it well. Actually ends up going out and around the back side of that green. Not sure if that's what he was going for, but either way, it is safe. So we can pretty much just lay this one up, I would think, from about 60.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's what he was going for. Just getting it on the other side. Like, he doesn't mind giving up a stroke right now. But he just, make sure he doesn't give up 2.
Yeah, in all likeliness, will give up a stroke to the other 3 members of the card, all looking pretty close. Lengel about 15 feet here. Knocks it down. But yeah, like you said earlier, just got to avoid those 2-stroke swings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The lead is down to 3 with 2 left to play. Hole 8, 526 feet. This is a par 4. We're just playing the white tee pad, so it's a little bit longer of a tee pad. It's essentially the same hole, same basket. As you can see, you're coming up onto this kind of sloping green. It's going to be quick into the green, so you got to be able to land something soft.
This is a nice looking tee shot, just needs to settle down. Oh, big flare skip though. Gonna find himself in the right side rough. Not unscrambleable from over there, because he's probably dealing with about 200 or less into the green. But could be a tricky lie. That was a buttery forehand right there.
Was, and I was scared of both those trees, and it got by them both. Kind of up next to a bushy tree. Maybe a weird stance.
Another slip.
Yeah. I feel like he was still lining up that hyzer though.
Yeah, either that or that was the best grip lock we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if Jay can bounce back here. I mean, not really much of a bounce back. He's still took a par on the last hole, but. Uh-oh.
Sit down.
That's going to be trouble.
Yeah, we'll see where he is.
Looks
He's
like he
gotta hit
still
one of
does
these
have
gaps.
still has a gap to work with. I mean, still could even get a birdie luck. It's only 500. Oh, I spoke too soon. That one's catches, I think, that branch that's hanging down.
Yeah, and Keagy's got to compose himself and focus up on this next shot. He still has strokes to play with, but they can go away quick.
Cody trying the forehand there from the right-hand side of the fairway. Gets caught up. So yeah, pretty important up and down here. We could see a potential 2-stroke swing coming up. That's going to fade out. Going to be a long par putt coming up with potentially a tree in the way.
And a sloping green.
Oh man, just when we thought it was over,
Now,
here comes the drama.
He is right. If anything, Keagy's fortunate that Guthrie was kind of locked up in, off the fairway, but he gets a good shot out and gives himself a chance at the bird. So it really matters who's farther away, is Keagy or Guthrie farther. Because if Guthrie runs it and misses it, does Keagy lay up and not have to worry about any sort of roll away? What's kind of the game plan?
Yeah, I think it'll depend on his lie. But we are going to see Matthew Guthrie up first. Gets some chains, but doesn't stick. So par at best for him. Very curious how in line with the basket that tree is.
Ugh. Why lay up when you're putting so good?
Yeah, just make it, Dan.
Yeah, what am I thinking?
Just cash the 35-footer.
Here comes the roast in the comments. Here we go.
Exactly. Bunch of dweebs don't know what they're talking about. Wow, so a huge par, and now he's not even going to lose a stroke. Might lose one to Ben here if he can knock this down, and he does, but still a 3-stroke lead on his nearest competitor on this card. Mm-hmm. And if he does check the scores, it is worth mentioning. Nobody on the chase card either, making too big of a push, so these are really the only guys he has to worry about are playing with him.
So we have a really cool look on the 9th hole. We are playing from the dam. We're playing the basket 18. So this is a par 3, 353 feet. You can see there is this window into the green. So turnover backhand can be a little tricky. I would assume if you have a forehand, that's what you're going with.
Yeah, awesome tee pad. Super scenic. Ben Lengel up first, coming off of that nice turkey. Trying to give himself a chance to grab second place. That'll give him an uphill putt. Tricky with the angle coming into this green to be able to climb the hill all the way to the basket. I think that result there, kind of landing lower on the hill, is going to be pretty common, as we see pretty much the same thing from Guthrie.
Yeah, it's like how high do you push that ceiling and, risk that versus just giving yourself more of a 20 to 30 foot look. Cody's looking like he's coming a little early. But doesn't look like it hurt him too bad.
Yeah, it'll be safe. He may not have a putt over there, but inbounds at least. I'm surprised we're seeing the backhand here.
Yeah, and this just needs to land inbounds. That's all he really needs. This needs to turn.
Down.
Ooh, fading out.
Jay's going to be the winner.
I heard a yeah.
Sounds like it just hangs on.
That being
But yeah, risky play there going with the turnover backhand. If that doesn't come back in bounds, or doesn't hold on and stay in bounds, could be looking at a potential stroke swing, but now he can just lay this one up.
He was close. That's as close as it gets. Keeping it interesting till the end. Thank you, Keagy. Well done.
Providing the drama is what we love to see. See if anybody can stick a putt here and grab a second place finish.
These putts matter because...
Oh.
Sit down. No. Stay in bounds.
Looks like it did, but that is a brutal roll away for Ben there. Now has to go forehand.
That puts him... And that's going to put him tied with Bradshaw at 16. Guthrie now can lay it up because he still gets second.
Yep, a nice tournament from him as well. Saw some great golf the past couple rounds from Matthew Guthrie, but nobody was catching Keagy, who hangs on to take it down and is your Tour de Richmond 2024 champion.
And I'd like to present to everyone the winner of the River City Open, presented by Play It Again Sports, Keagy.
Thank you to River City Disc Golf. Thank you for Tim for TDing this. Thank you for all the sponsors that helped fund it. And then he's not with us here anymore, but My buddy Tim would have been real proud of this one, so shout out to
buddy.
Tim.
What a win. What a special moment there for Jay.
Yeah, fantastic. Just solid play, solid putting. I mean, every time he stepped up, it was going in.
It was. As we take a look at the final leaderboards, rounding out the top 8. Congrats to all those that qualified for the Final 9 Safari round. Hey, if you're interested in supporting this coverage on Heiser Media or Gatekeeper, let us know. We'd love to have you. Thank you to everybody for watching. For Dan Brooks-Wells, I'm Nathan Johnson. We've got plenty of more exciting coverage coming this year, so make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you there.